And welcome inside the Lifetime Activity Center on the campus of Sully Community College. Dusty Lidster and Dane Stewart. It's almost like I was already doing this for the last 15
seconds. Have you ever had deja
vu? You know what? All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I feel like every time we do a game.
Yeah, at least once. You put Dusty in control. Dusty's going to mess up a button. But week 3 here in the Utah Top 50, our first matchup of 3 tonight. The Oakland Americans taking on the Kentucky Colonels. And Dane's fun. It's hard to think already. It's week 3. But I think what's fun is that every week the kids get coaching from the feedback that the directors get from college coaches. And it's always fun to see what they put into play week to week.
Yeah, this week it was really stressed on the importance of ball movement. And so we'll see if we see an added focus on that, the ability to just, again, kind of go play, but, not looking for MVP types and want to get that ball moving around. And I think a good opening possession there for the Americans.
That is Peter Broadbent. Young man had a good week last week as well. At a Skyline High School. Get that ball inside to Whitehead, and he misses on the stat stuffer. Goes 0 for 2 from point-blank range. And quickly back down the floor with the Americans. A little fall away, kind of slipped as well as he got inside the colored area. Stayed down. It's Isaac Staley missing on the 3. The rebound to Hymas.
Boy, tough shooting from the floor here early on. Both teams pretty cold.
Yeah, and then Jody Barnes takes it on top of the head, quickly on the push. Go back inside, Whitehead. Backs his way down, get blocked from behind by Kymas. I'm going to tell you right now.
Come on, Coach. He would not like that call if he was on the bench.
We've done enough games together. Yeah. Coach Ballstead would definitely be a little angry on that one if it was the Wasatch Wasps getting that, let's say, from a Park City minor. But we can give him guff because, working with him. So back down the floor with the Americans. Broadbent knocked down the 3 to start tonight. There's a steal to Jordy Barnes, the future Utah State Aggie.
That's a young man. If you want to see assists, just keep an eye on him, and there you go.
Finds Isaac Staley, and the Colonels on the board. Isaac Staley, of course, out of Lone Peak High School. And we'll get the white balance figured out here momentarily. As the screen is blue. The screen is blue. About finishing that one. There's a steal.
Yeah, I didn't know where to take that one.
Erickson nearly got a little tough shot to fall. Did not. Martin with the rebound. Making the extra pass.
A nice recovery there defensively by the Colonels.
AJ can get that one to go. And again, Jordy Barnes with the loose ball.
Broadbent had himself a big game last week. Made that first 3. He's looking for a bit of a heat check here early on.
Whitehead now gets that one to drop. Had those first 2 looks from point-blank range not stay down and gets that one to go.
And, Dusty, I'm going to call you out. You are critical of Coach Ballstead's officiating. He's no longer officiating. So apparently
he took himself out. Back in the stadium seats where he belongs. He's not been paying attention to us.
No.
And here's the better part. He's already rashed because he was getting an absolute rash from Brian Alfrey before the game when I was down there talking with him. Is Whitehead fouled from behind. And I'll be on Broadbent. We'll put Whitehead back at the line for 2 more. For 1 more.
We love James.
Yeah.
Just teasing.
I didn't know
Coach Ballstead, one of the main founders of this top 50. And what were you going to say?
I didn't know that his nickname with guys in home is Jamie.
Yeah. The first couple of times I heard that, I had to do a double take, and then quickly realized they were referring to Coach Ballstead.
Yeah, not Jimmy.
Yeah,
but Jamie. Into the corner, Kyson Hymas misfires on the corner 3. Barnes off the screen. Jordy in the lane. Fall away wide to the left. Whitehead saves it in, but right in the hands of Mekhi Martin. Oh, nice little AI-type pass as Broadbent lays that one up and in. Jordy Barnes misfires on the Titan triple.
And that's probably one of those where you'd like to see that ball move a little bit more. I know he's open. That's a shot he can hit. But he's a couple feet beyond the three-point line. Good answer.
And how about Broadbent now with 8 points here in the early going?
Yeah.
2 threes in the bucket that we had just the last possession.
Talk about the big game he had last week in week 2. He's shining here early in week 3 as well. Skyline Eagle off to a nice start.
And Isaac Staley with his second bucket.
Love the drive there by Staley. That's going to be an aspect that I think Lone Peak's going to need him, is to be more aggressive scoring this season.
As Barnes goes back inside. Nice little ball thing from Christensen, but then he turns it over. Cookie on the run. Martin saves that one back in. The reverse from Hymas, no. And the loose ball taken by the Colonels.
Boy, and Broadbent here down. Maybe turned an ankle, and now you're going to get the whistle here to get a sub.
So we got a player down. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com.
Hi, I'm Lizzie from the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's a perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
And welcome back in. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you here at Utah Top 50. Broadbent off the floor after turning his ankle. There's Erickson, young man out of Syracuse. Sends in the corner. That was William Santiago, and now this is Swiggett. And here comes our guy, Jackson McKee. Sent back out, Swiggett for 3, no. McKee with the board. Goes back up strong, a little too wild on that one, and he'll back down the floor. Actually, no, we'll stay here with the Colonels. Of course, McKee, a football player. Dane just saw him on Friday night for the Box Elder Bees.
He's had a great night. Of course, they wish that they would have come out on the positive end of things, but good effort for him. And right back in the gym now all of a sudden.
Bettinger gets inside the lane and ties us up at 8. Of course, Bettinger, our 5A player of the year from a year ago. On our KSL Sports Rewind coverage as Kyson Hymas left that one short, gets his own board, left hand, +1. He just wanted the hoop and the harm. And so we'll just go ahead and give him the point. And it's 11-8 for the Americans. And, of course, if you haven't joined us before, all the teams are named after 88 teams. And a nice take and finish by Erickson. Looking like Colin Chandler on that one.
Really excited for the year that Erickson has ahead of him. Big opportunity for that young man.
It's off the miss. McKee on the run. Makai Martin on his hip. No, Bettinger can't get the point-blank shot to drop. The stick won't go down.
A couple bunnies for Mason there that just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
And he and Whitehead are both going to be frustrated with those two. We've had 4 of those. McKee with the steal. Nice job of playing D. Swiggett give it to Bettinger. Mason lays it in.
There you go.
Excited for the season for Mason Bettinger. Can Woods Cross find the form they got last year all the way to this 5A title game before falling to the high-powered Olympus Titans? 3 on the way and short. Hymas with the board. And now Kyson Hymas, all the hard work he's put in here in the first quarter, or first half, I should say, paid off with the bucket. Erickson off on the 3. And here comes Makai Martin. Martin sends the angle. And keeps up top. And turns it over. McKee with the loose ball.
Yeah, like Workman coming around that angle, but just picked from behind. Talk about that ball from Swiggett.
Well, Swiggett left a little sharp and underneath. Nice job by Bettinger. Let's help them, both of them, get some stats on that one.
Yeah.
So Colonel's leading 14-13. I want to welcome all the coaches watching the stream as Erickson had it for a moment, and now all he has to show for is a little bit of a floor burn on the knee.
Love the hustle there defensively. Obviously couldn't, track that one down to keep it in play, but showing he's more than just a scorer. Nice lockdown defense there by Caden.
Well, if you follow Syracuse Titan basketball, and I don't know why you wouldn't, the D comes first. Erickson with the steal. Down the lane, a little pirouette. Oh, nice job of staying patient and the finish.
Caden's one of those guys where when he gets in a rhythm and he starts feeling it, man, look out. And, how a finish, then the defense running the floor there. You see the patience. Young man starting to feel it tonight.
Pass up a shot for a better shot in New Age basketball. That's the better shot. Corner 3 there from Charlie Smith. Bountiful High School, his dad, the head coach.
I actually don't know if he is or not.
Well, he was at Bountiful.
Right, but they've had Smiths. They've had Smiths there for a couple years.
Right.
I'm not certain if Charlie is or not. I'll tell you this. He's a lengthy sophomore regardless of who the pop is.
No matter what happened, he's been well coached. That stroke was pure. Timeout on the floor. As we're at the media timeout, we'll be right back. You're watching the Utah Top 50. Hey, welcome back in the Utah Top 50. I want to remind you that Athletic Republic has built success on helping each athlete achieve their goals through an individual approach to training. Our off-court conditioning works on developing a faster first step, a quicker change in direction, the explosive power needed to elevate, and the stamina to play as well in the closing minutes as you did just after tip-off against Athletic Republic. You want to thank them for their support of Utah Top 50. And that's the way you come out of the timeout, go right down the floor, get the bucket there for Christopher Cox.
Bettinger had such a good fake on the inbound, it faked out his own inbounder, and the immediate turnover.
And a 3 good from Tyler Christensen. As this game that started out a little slow is kind of going here offensively. A.J. Apeth-Jeng holds on to that one. Simmons, no. Apeth-Jeng with the board, sends it back out. 3 on the way, and good. And hey, when this kid comes on the floor, he's already on fire, and that is little Jackson Workman.
He's been doing that all summer long. If he can work that into that Murray offense, it's going to be some offensive fireworks for the Spartans this year.
Skip pass to Staley. And Isaac a little strong off the buckle. And then he able to fight for his own offensive board. Bettinger inside to Whitehead, and Whitehead lays it in. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time watching Utah Top 50, these links go out to coaches and everybody else. But I think what's most impressive, what they've been able to accomplish in the 2 years of doing this, is how hard the kids play. There's a want to on the floor as Lyman Simmons lays that one in.
Yeah, it's one of the things that, and you know, that desire, we talk about the opportunity for more ball movement here in week 2. That's the hard thing, is how you balance that desire, that competitiveness, with still working around with kids that maybe you aren't comfortable with, right? You haven't played a lot of summer ball with or varsity ball with, and getting that familiarity. And that balance is, can be tricky for high schoolers to figure out.
Yeah. But they've been able to do it. And there's some strongly worded emails to go out to every participant.
You know, and
very direct feedback, I should say. Not strongly worded, but just very
not
direct.
Not strongly worded, very direct, right? And the reality is, all these kids, I mean, you talk about high school basketball. I mean, do you think that Coach Kelby Miller is not direct at Layton, right? I mean,
I don't know.
they're used to that feedback, right? And it's how they're going to get better. And it's one of the things you got to love about this showcase is that, you know, iron sharpens iron, right? It's strength against strength. And so you get some of that direct feedback and see if you can work it in and show that you're coachable. And it's going to go a long way in their development and their recruiting.
Jordy Barnes off the steal. Off the angle, strong take by Christensen and met at the rim and can't get that one to go. Cox maybe got a hand on that ball. As here comes Workman. Jackson over to Apeth Jang for 3. No. And the rebound to Mason Bettinger. Oh, nice move by Mason. And then just can't get it to fall. That was like a Dwight Freeney-esque spin move there.
Yeah. Set it up so well. That one just coming off the rim a little hard.
And he caught the soft shoulder and everything.
Love the hustle there by Christensen.
Yeah. Able to keep down alive. Here comes Jordy Barnes. Transition 3 from Jordy. Banged home. Tie and triple.
I was going to say, some people may want to see that ball move. That's within the Olympus offense right there, Dusty. That's old number 1, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I am one with the waggle. It's just... As inside Lyman Simmons, the former Snow Canyon Warrior and future Real Salt Lake Griffin? Is that what they go by?
Yes. Yeah.
Not just a winged line, it's the Griffin.
You know, Lyman Simmons is showed an ability to Snow Canyon play away from the rim. He's tall. You're going to think he's going to be a post guy. He can certainly stretch that out. Was a good three-point shooter last year. I know one of the things that RSL is maybe continue that opportunity, but when you look at getting him in the block, well, he can be a big problem down there. And I love that, he missed a 17-footer a little bit earlier, go back down in the block, kind of reinforce your physicality, your size down there, and good show there by Lyman.
Last week I messed up on whose kids was who. Now I can just go find out. As Utah High School basketball royalty, Jeff Johnson just walked in the building. I think he's the only two-time Mr. Basketball the state's had. Now, if it was up to us, Frank Jackson would have had a back-to-back years. Because he did get a back-to-back years from us, but just not from the big publication that goes on the school programs. I've had some conversations with some former past recipients lately as Whitehead lays that one in.
Oh, man.
Of, hey, why isn't it on your profile? Don't know who writes those. There's a 3 lipped out. All I know is you go to the Wilson household, and proudly displayed are the awards that the Wilsons have received from Rewind. Still. Is that the corner from Hymas?
One of us has seen that with their own eyes.
I have it on my phone, absolutely.
Yeah.
The first thing that a certain parent told me, he said, hey, make sure you go downstairs and check that out. As Christensen knocks down another 3, and a timeout on the floor. And we share that because we cover the state. We enjoy it. We love it.
Yeah.
We do awards, and it's just a lot of fun. And we have fun with these kids. But it's fun to see right now if we finally get into an offensive flow here, Dane.
Yeah, and I really love what Tyler Christensen has brought tonight. Is that timeout taken for substitutions? But, I think I would say Tyler Christensen, for me, has had a lot of hustle plays the first couple of weeks. But, boy, tonight he's really brought the offense. And it's been awesome to see the Cedar Valley Aviator senior been able to find the bottom of the net on a couple big shots.
And there's Mekhi Martin, who has done that quite a bit. It's his time at Lane Christian. They're really going to need him to do that here this year. He and KJ Miller I think we'll have a spectacular year in Region 1.
And Brock Mendoza,
Yeah, good
who
call.
is not on the floor tonight for the Americans, but he's had a nice top 50 so far, and that's going to be a three-headed monster when you look at Region 1. Region 1's going to be an absolute blast this year.
And we'll announce we'll be able to see it because we'll be
Yes.
our third straight year of doing every Davis basketball game.
Yeah.
Which means we go through all of Region 1. We see everybody twice.
Yeah, Region 1 doesn't go through Davis. It goes through Rewind. Let's be honest.
Just the way we planned it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if Chad Sims wanted me to share that, but I have text confirmations that we're good to go. A nice take by Christensen, and, man, he's enjoyed himself a good first half.
Tanya, I love the mindset from Tyler tonight. It's been outside, it's been inside. When we talk about his scoring ability, man, he's been fantastic.
Martin misfires on the three. I tell you, the Colonels have gotten it done inside and outside.
Yeah.
But really attacking it inside the painted area. As Erickson on the drive takes the bump, doesn't get the finish. Little Region 1 battle there. He, Mackay, Martin. And it'll be a 2-for-1 here for Erickson.
I'll tell you, it feels like the Colonels just have some quicker feet right now, right? You see guys running the floor. We've had kind of, single shot possessions, not a lot of ball movement. We had possessions with ball movement, right? But they just feel like they got a little extra bounce in their step tonight in this first half.
Seem a little more together. As Hymas sends that one out. 3 on the way and good from Mackay Martin. He saw he needed that one. That was one of those attitude adjustment shots there.
Yeah, missed the previous 3 and missed it off to the side. And good for him to see that go down. You can kind of see his response like, okay, finally, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be one of those days.
Right.
As here's Christensen again working off the dribble. Send back out. William Santiago with the code red.
And you talk about unselfish play there by Tyler Christensen. Look, we talk about he's been aggressive offensively, and there's a hand on that basketball. It kind of disrupts his ability, but he sees Santiago come around and able to get that outlet pass, set up a wide open 3. Love the vision there.
Hymas's ball goes out of bounds. And remember, the clock will continue to run unless there's a foul inside of 2 minutes of each half. I don't know if he's watching or not, but Doug Jardine, I don't know where he is tonight.
Probably enjoying my sunglasses somewhere.
It's good with that goatee. Send out to Santiago. Williams sends back up top to Erickson. I tell you, some of his defense really turned the way this first half is finishing.
Yeah.
As McKee came out for the screen, Erickson sends out to Christensen. It was online but short. And now on the push.
Yeah, tough shot there. It was a good closeout by the Americans trying to contest that shot.
Workman gives that one up to Simmons, and Lyman was searching for some contact, and Santiago just got out of the way.
He almost found himself riding a Bronco there.
Just saddle him up. That was one of those ones where Santiago was like, do I stand here? Wait, this isn't the fall, right?
I don't know what just happened there, but
if there was a painted area, or the halo, and Santiago with his second 3. And that's how the first half will end. Are we going to count the buckets? I don't think the officials know. Yes, they say do. How about a little 5-point spurt and a 13-point lead as we go to the break? You're watching the Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com.
Hi, I'm Lizzie from the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's the perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style Checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
And it's time for second half basketball here at Utah Top 50. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart. As always, Utah Top 50 brought to you by by Athletic Republic. Every basketball game is made up of hundreds of short bursts of speed. Athletes work on improving their their spring, so we get the clock started here unofficially. Work on improving their sprinting efficiency and speed on our high-end running treadmill with visual assist from our AR Vision video feedback system. I don't know how you could do that and stay focused.
I was going to say, that sounds really complex, doesn't it? You're like VR on a treadmill?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard enough for me to do Peloton and watch and listen to somebody. You add in a third element?
It's hard enough for me to do a treadmill. I've started abandoning the treadmill. I've gone to jump rope. I'm going all Rocky.
I'll tell you, it makes you feel real good. Really?
Yeah.
I have too much arthritis. We're just building some hurting bombs as Whitehead gets up and flushes.
Love Whitehead going for the flush there. We saw him last year. I saw him with JV for Bingham and thought, man, this kid obviously has some length. If he can develop that aggressive nature, he's going to be really, really tough in Region 3 this year, and showing it on that play.
Comes over, and there's the foul. As I better get used to that, Kyson Hymas and Whitehead are going to meet up twice this year.
Yes, they will. If only we could see those matchups. Oh, wait.
Another announcement. Copper Hills is going to once again rejoin the KSL Sports Rewind Sports Network. It was funny when we made that announcement 2 years ago that we were going to join KSL Sports. Jeremiah Jetson goes, "So you're a network now?" And I said, "Just give it time." Is that three from Jordy Barnes is good. His second, or probably his third three.
A little step back fashion there for Jordy. Of course, his papa here in the wings tonight.
Apeth Jane misses on that. Of course, his dad, Matt Barnes, legendary coach from, well,
state championship coach.
Alum and state championship head coach of Olympus High School. I've always said I think it's even sweeter to win state championships for Matt or someone else. You win it at your alma mater. As that shot goes for Bettinger.
Well, I thought there was even contact there potentially on Bettinger, and still able to get that one to drop. Nice take.
Now, we're building a rewind sweet, but if I was able to do it at Carbon, it'd be just a little sweeter. Not happening, but it would be sweet. As Apeth Jang knocks down the three.
Well, you know what? I'll save that comment for off air.
Yeah,
we'll just
keep
wait.
that one.
We'll just wait.
I teed you up, but that's one to get a bowl.
I already made Dusty upset once tonight. I don't need to do it twice in an hour. So,
as Cox picks up the loose ball on the run, there's Makai Martin. He tries to go cross court, picked out by Santiago. Got a defender back. Santiago give it up to Staley. Isaac put on the floor, take the bump, get the bucket.
Did he dribble? I missed it if he did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, all right.
And there's a steal on the inbound, and Bettinger misses the bunny, but Staley there for the pickups. As hockey fans tell me that's what that's called. He's there for the pickups, and he puts them home.
Let's do that hockey thing, Dusty. That's not a hockey term.
It is on the Mighty Ducks.
I don't know what Mighty Ducks you're watching. That's okay. We can teach you the game. He's a Vegas Knights fan, so we allow a little.
Vegas born. Is that one from Whitehead able to stay with it? And once Isaac Staley with 6 straight points. Well, pardon me, 6 of 8.
Yeah.
That pesky Bettinger bucket kept that from happening. And we're going to match what's on the board here in the building. They got a 58-41, and we'll match it. As Staley with the rebound. Now Bettinger with the dunk. And maybe a timeout coming here from the Americans. Yes, it is. Timeout on the floor. And it's just maybe a substitution timeout?
No, I think it's timeout.
Timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lizzie from the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's a perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style Checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
Out of the timeout, Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart. Dusty gets the lashing for not knowing his hockey terms, as that the shot on the angle is good. That is Kyson Hymas, a man out of Copper Hills, and it's a 16-point game. Staley got it going here in the second half inside the Whitehead. He's swatted away by Hymas. Hymas and Cox were both there waiting for Whitehead to try to put that one up. And then a near steal by Workman off of Jordy Barnes. Workman and Barnes is battling out. It's in the Region 6 thing. Send it ahead. Apeth Jang misses the dunk. Cox there for the board and the putback.
Boy, he had that one in his whole wrist. I thought that was going to be the most powerful throwdown of the night and just came up short.
That's where kids got to realize that Dr. J made that look easy. But when you cup it, you got to go just that much higher. As Staley continues to impress here.
By the way, Staley was a football player as well. So another multi-sport athlete, not playing football this season. But man, how about the last 6 minutes for Isaac Staley, huh?
The kid showed really well as a freshman last year for Coach Ross and the Knights. Second half of the year, he was spectacular as Hymas takes out the whole. He and Chamberlain Burgess. That's going to be a lethal 1-2 punch.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a program that played a lot of youth last year, and they're hoping that will pay dividends for them this year. Ever difficult Region 4. We'll see.
And, of course, you got Swiggett is also on this floor, too, as there's the second dunk for Whitehead. And, of course, Staley played that well because they were on the Rewind Sports Network a year ago. We expect that one to come back.
How about the battle there? You had Lyman Simmons trying to get Braden Whitehead in the air. Simmons eventually able to get that finish, but two post guys that neither of them willing to concede much easily there.
As Bettinger misses on the three, and we're going to give intern Preston a break tonight. The scoreboard in the building is switched just as much as Preston's been trying to keep up with them, too.
Look, you don't need to make excuses for Preston, Dusty.
You know, every once in a while, I throw him under the bus enough and just try to save him. Oh, nice pass. And Staley with that. I've got unofficially 13 points in the second half.
It could be. He's been a man on a mission.
And 13:30 left here in the second half after the timeout. It's been the Isaac Staley show. As Makai Martin will bring the ball off the floor here for the Americans. Martin sends out to Cox, a wide open three, and left it short. Thought about it. He saw a little hesitation. Swiggett has that one poked away. Makai Martin ahead to Cox. Erickson's back. Cox rises and misses the dunk.
We've had more missed dunks tonight, Dusty.
It's the fourth.
Yeah. A lot of opportunities left uncapitalized.
Swiggett off the dribble, and he got bumped from behind. Swiggett off the inbound, misses the three. As we're 2 minutes away from the under 10 media timeout, as the three from Makai Martin won't go. Backside board taken by the Americans, but stripped away. Charlie Smith thought he had something there. On the other end, Swiggett misses. The putback won't go for McKee, and it's Martin with the run out. Martin up to Simmons, and Simmons flushes.
The two-hand flushes have been a little more sure than the one-hands tonight.
Yeah. He's a 1-foot leaper. Three on the way, and good from Bettinger.
This lead at 18, man. Colonel's really exploded.
Hanging on a pivot, and Makai Martin. A fancy ball movement there, able to reverse it and score. He shows it, and he takes it away. Nice find inside. McKee loses the handle. And Smith able to get to the floor, keep it alive. Here comes Cox off the power dribble, left hand, and finish.
A nice roll off that screen by McKee, but just lost it in traffic, and then quickly the Americans able to put together a bit of a run. Good response.
Just over a minute left before the break, and Erickson turns that one over. Christensen has to save it into the front court. Taken by Smith. He gives up to the line. Simmons. Back to Smith for 3. Got it.
Good shot there by Charlie. My goodness. Contested. Didn't think he had much room to get that away. Able to drill it.
Bettinger inside to McKee. No. Gets it back. Blocked from behind
Cox?
by Cox. And somewhere, someone's saying, hey, that was a foul in the first half.
We'll see if Dusty gets a text tonight from Coach Ballstead.
I expect one. I expect it from Brian sending me the Shia LaBeouf clapping from the distance. Apeth Jang will pull for 3. No. Hymas there. You got the tip in to go. Here comes Christensen. Well, the break at the next dead ball or bucket. Erickson. And that ball goes out of bounds, and that'll bring us to our under 10 timeout.
Yeah, we'll wait.
I guess, yeah. Well, we're going to keep it rolling here.
I think Preston forgot his red hat tonight. Good going, Preston.
Told him. He said he only wanted to wear blue. And a shot from the corner is good from Workman. And now we've got a timeout. So timeout on the floor. You're watching the 2022 Utah Top 50.
Is Austin all right?
And welcome back in, Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart. I want to thank Athletic Republic for supporting what we're doing here at the Utah Top 50 as Jordy Barnes hits his third 3.
Jordy Barnes been
Probably fourth 3.
Very focused from the perimeter tonight. Haven't seen a lot of drives by Jordy.
Got the steal. Barnes with a contest and a lay-in.
Showing he can score points in the paint there, Dusty.
Yeah, how about Hymas was right there.
Yeah.
We know Hymas can block the ball.
This is one of the things we talk about the Colonels and their extra jump. It feels like they've been sending a lot of guys to the rim, both in the half court but also in the fast break tonight, trying to back up potential shots.
Good
D. Look at the defense, yeah.
Good D by Whitehead. And maybe in the winter, Simmons gets hit with or either picks up a foul or gets hit with a travel there. But Apeth Jang, man, he went a little maverick move and hit the brakes, and Jordy flew right by.
Well, he might have had a wing on that plane that came up. But
just being nice.
Look, if they don't call it.
Yeah, it's why they didn't call us. I didn't see that it happened.
Yeah.
So there's no thing like a chicken wing. Apeth Jang, pass up the 3.
Like the use of the hesitation there. How about Whitehead? Knew exactly where he was on the floor there defensively, and then able to get back under for the rebound.
Here comes Barnes. Send to the corner. Santiago to Swiggett. Misses on the 3. His feet were set, and the ball came off a little flat. And we're back down the floor with the Colonels. Again, this is game 1 of 3 tonight. Next one coming up, the Flint Tropics taking on the Dallas Chaparrals.
Of course, Flint, I believe, won this thing last year. The Flint Tropics did. Successful year 1 for the franchise. And this year, off to a 2-0 start, the Tropics. So,
who needs Woody Harrelson after all?
right?
Three from the corner won't go for Cox. Barnes stuck in the backcourt, gives it up to Whitehead. Jordy to the corner. Santiago goes inside. Whitehead can't get the little jump hook to go, gets back into Swiggett. And he forced it, went a little too quick there and left it off the back of the iron.
It was a nice job by Cam to kind of drift inside when he saw that there was interior defensive pressure on Whitehead. Just missed the opportunity to finish it.
Try to reverse there by Cox, couldn't get there. As Barnes brings it up, terminated, the block sends out to Swiggett, and they'll reset here with Barnes. Straightaway 3, no. And ball's starting to stick a little bit here. As Apeth Jang brings it up to, or gives it up to Martin. Mackay on the drive on Swiggett. Took the bump, thought he'd get a call, did not. And Whitehead's pass a little too strong for Isaac Staley. And we'll come back down the floor with the Americans. Inside to Simmons.
How about a little hook, huh? Talk about last time, it was kind of a little bit of a use of the pump fake and hesitation trying to get Lyman. That time, Lyman able to just be quick there with the little hook and score it before Whitehead could really get in position.
Yeah. David Evans is going to take all the credit on that one. The work this summer.
Yeah.
Actually, I give it to Dave's beanie. Dave's beanie's been around the world. You even see Dave's wearing
No.
Even dunked on his birthday. Dave turned, 40, I want to say 43? 43 or 40. I got to look back on the IG. But he threw down on his birthday to show his players he still got it. Yeah, but he's got a little beanie he's been rocking everywhere he's gone. If you follow David Evans on Instagram, the head coach at RSL Academy, you get to travel the world. He goes recruiting, building homes, whatever it is. And I know he's probably watching. Nothing else. Jim Detchen's watching. Cross court to Isaac Staley. No call on the baseline. The ball tipped out of bounds, and we'll stay here. I think our fill-in officials are learning that the whistles don't work as easy as they think they do.
We've had a couple of very soft whistles tonight, right?
Yeah, they're not getting the cork bead to.
You got to use your diaphragm.
Yeah. Mean to whistle that thing. So
maybe they need a baseball guy to show them how it's done, Dusty.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And we'll hold on this. Clock's got a little unsynced as they stopped the clock there. McKee feels the pressure, sends back out. Barnes straight away. 3 won't drop as you're seeing the legs maybe getting a little tired here tonight. 4 minutes to go as that ball goes out of bounds.
How about Benninger? I thought it might have gone out off of Mason, but the official saying no. It will stay here. Mason able to do a nice job there with the quick pressure.
So remember, after this game, we'll have a 10-minute break, and the next one will get started. 3 from Bettinger. It won't go.
That one felt like it was off from the moment it left. And sure enough.
Cox sends up top, and that one's taken away by Barnes. Workman giving chase. Barnes able to go right at him and finish. And I think that's what I've been most impressed with Jordy tonight. We know he can shoot the 3, but it's how he is not intimidated getting to the lane, no matter who's there. He's going to go to the rim, and he's going to finish.
Yeah, I think he's shown an ability to get out in the floor quickly and Obviously, some of his defense has led to that. Some of his team's defense has led to that. Not afraid to run the floor. Of course, we've become accustomed to that at Olympus. Haven't seen the mid-range from Jordy. A little bit of a Warrior-esque type performance tonight.
There are the Daryl Morey Rockets. Layups for threes. We don't junction jumper anymore. Makes you wonder how they're going to bring that back. Baseball's deadening baseballs to get the doubles and triples back in the game. Makes you wonder what basketball's going to do to bring the mid-range back. Oh, Bettinger blocked from behind by Cox.
Love the hustle there by Cox. Well, pressure here on Workman.
Quickly on the run. Oh, nice ball fake. And there he is there for the extra pass, and Christopher Cox from Cottonwood with the dunk.
Maybe basketball will require you to keep a defender in certain areas of the floor, Dusty.
There you go,
There's a two-handed.
Jang. Hey,
see the reference there?
Yeah, absolutely. Because here's the thing. It'd be ridiculous. You say, well, no, I want 6 defenders in the floor. I'll do that now.
You can't shift defense in basketball anymore. We're going to take that away.
Dane's just trying to get under my skin. Is that what they're laying there for Cox? The same group of people that wanted to do that also changed saying RBIs to just RBI. He's got 114 RBI on the year. There's a pickup by Athbeth Chang. AJ sends out Workman. Extra pass to Christopher Cox. Misses on the 3. Lyman Simmons loses that one going up, and I'd like to see him stay strong and finish through that as there's McKee on the other end.
2 PSI there for McKee. Points scored in.
Every once in a while, he comes with the old gut buster.
How about
there.
the Americans? This was an 18-point difference. They got this down to 7 here. If you can get defensive stop, you can maybe try to speed this game up, get a couple extra possessions or 2.
Oh, and the little TP would not fall down there for Jordy Barnes, a 2-pointer.
Yeah. Bit of a points left on the floor as Erickson here trying to do his best.
And Erickson with the two-handed flush. And
that's a PDI. Points dunked in.
Was it a THF, two-handed flush? Because there's the shot from the top of the key will not drop for Smith. And a very nice win here for the Colonels. As they're going to come away with a 9-point victory. Dane, some final thoughts and selection of a player of the game.
Well, I think, one of the things we saw tonight, still a lot of kind of, quick shots. I think still an opportunity for these players. We go further in. But I think we did see some improved ball movement today. I thought the defense of the Colonels really was some of the difference, allowed them to get out on the run. Some turnovers they were able to capitalize in transition. Player of the game, that's hard for me. I think Jordy had a big scoring night for him. Timely shooting by Santiago. I liked what Whitehead did in the paint. I'll go with Whitehead down low as player of the game offensively, defensively for the Colonels.
All right. That's a fun selection there for Whitehead, our player of the game. Again, final score, the Kentucky Colonels 83 and the Oakland Americans 74. Stay tuned. Game 2 of 3 coming up next. You're watching the 2022 Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com. And welcome in the Lifetime Activity Center, Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart. Game 2 of 3 here in Week 3 of the Utah Top 50. And our second matchup, the Flint Tropics taking on the Dallas Chaparrals. I never know how to say Chaparrals or Chaparrals.
Yeah, I'd say Chaparrals, but I have no idea.
You think I'd listen whenever they've had that a dance team is the Chaparrals, but it hasn't quite sunk in.
This isn't dance.
I know it isn't. That's why
it will be poetry on a basketball floor, though, because we've got the Flint Tropics.
Nice.
Fantastic. Q Mesa. And by the way, strike first, no mercy in Brock Felder, Parawan Ram, who's been fantastic in the top 50. And you got Chudy, who's got the ball right now. Probably an early candidate for Mr. Basketball this year.
Yeah. And after ending the last game at Dane, taking some funny little shots at Dusty. He comes in to speak in my language there with the strike first, no mercy. That one was out of bounds.
Did you know? You ready for a fun fact?
I love fun facts.
FanX was here over the weekend.
Yeah.
The cast of Cobra Kai was here, including one William Zabka.
I know, and we were downtown because it was making it hard to park for the red zone, and I thought, I should go see old Billy Zabka. But I didn't, so instead I continued my journey through Season 3.
Look, a shout out to Tanner Fackrell. He got a picture with old Bobby.
Did he?
Yes, he did. Showed me at work today, and I was like, you are a lucky man. You are now my envy.
Shot does not fall. Is come back down the floor with the Chaparrals, and you mentioned this team's got a lot of fun ones. We talked about Chudiana CK, as you mentioned, a beginning of the year watch list member for Mr. Rewind.
Yeah.
Q Meza certainly is. He's a 2-time finalist for Mr. Rewind in basketball. As that 3 is on the way and off the mark. And we come back down the way with the Tropics as Hansen's pass goes out of bounds. Got caught in the air there.
Yeah, tough pass there for Hunter Hansen. You're trying to wrap around the defense. Got an open man, but maybe try to simplify that one a little bit next time. James Rust.
So that's quickly on the other end, and the layup was passed up, and then the extra pass.
Paul Beatty.
Thank you,
with the
Paul
bucket.
Beatty.
How about Q with the block, though? Mesa running the floor, making the defensive play there.
Our guys changed what colors they're wearing, so it's throwing Preston off here. The Tropics supposed to be wearing blacks, according to what happened before.
This is what happens when you give Preston a little bit of room. You were being very lenient with him in the first game, and now all of a sudden he's just off the rails.
He's looking at me. He's like, hey, I'm looking. It's not matching. As that foul is up top. Little step back. Jay from Robinson would not drop. And the rebound pulled down by James Rust.
I'm really excited for the year for James Rust this year. I think he's going to have a big, big year for the T-Birds.
And there's a steal and the run out. Q Meza was challenged there by Anosike. Loose ball. Taken by the Chaparrals. Picked up. Well, this is the Chaparrals. Here comes Hansen. Nice little blow-by move. We got that to crawl up and in.
That's a Utah State finish right there. I don't
what
just
that
say
is?
Utah State. It's next level finish, right? You got contact. You're kind of drifting under the basket. Nice job able to get that up and in.
There's a former Jazz member who used to do that a lot, but we won't mention that anymore. As come the other way. Straight away, send to the angle. 3 on the way. And off the mark there by Brock Felder.
This year feels like a lot of Jazz fans are going to be talking about former Jazz members.
Yeah. As Rust, there's no charge, but there's a block by Felder, but it leads to the 3 from Owen Odom.
Speaking of Utah State, son of Coach Odom up at Utah State. Green Canyon, man, I'll tell you what.
Got a lot of
Utah
dudes.
State basketball coach, they move into Green Canyon boundaries, and that basketball program says thank you.
They want to know
it.
where the new developments are in Logan?
Green Canyon, yeah. It's built up in Millville. Psh, got nothing on North Logan.
Who builds out in Smithfield anymore?
It's been great energy for the Chaparrals tonight, but still scoreless, Dusty. Doesn't feel that way.
No, it doesn't. And but we saw this earlier. We saw it last week. We had the teams fall behind and get going, especially toward the end of the first half.
It can't be because Hunter Hansen scored.
We're following what's on the score
Right.
here. Yeah,
I'm
Hansen had that
perplexed.
little crawl in, and I had it up.
And Odom scored. I think they got it switched.
Yeah, it's 5-2.
It might be 7-0 Chaps.
I think everyone's mixed up because the roster or the colors are off here.
It might be 7-0 Chaps.
Well, we're going to change that here.
We
Chris.
got line changes, hockey term for you.
Oh, you sure?
Yes.
You have to join us in the first game to know what we're talking about there. Yeah, we're going to change it up. 7-0 Chap, as you say. We'll go with the Chaps.
That's much cleaner.
Yeah, nice pass inside. The reverse will not fall for Logan Deal. Not dealing on that one. Here comes the other way. Johnson.
Chaps loaded with talent from Cache Valley. Deal another one of those. We'll also have a chance to see Tanner Davis who's been fantastic in the top 50 and for the Skyview Bobcats.
Johnson in the key, can't get that one to go. Felder can't pull down the board as he and Beatty got a little tied up.
How about Beatty showing some physicality? That's a good sign for Farmington fans, and now looking for distance.
And a 3 for the big fella, trailing and knocking it down, and 10-0.
And they did add the 3, so it is 10-0 Chaps here.
And now on the run out, little AK-47 look, and there is no easy whistles tonight. And I actually appreciate that. I mean, we're going to teach to finish through some stuff as Tanner Davis possibly fouled, but they're going to keep the ball here. Quick inbounds into Beatty. And Beatty can't get down to go over Felder, gets the rebound. Quickly on the push, here's Johnson. Ball still loose. Felder sends back out. Johnson on the drive. Takes it hard, is fouled. That foul is on Mitch Jepson. We'll have 2 free throws coming to Johnson. This is Houston Johnson out of Crimson Cliffs. And the 1 for 2 free throws good, and the Tropics get on the board. And also, we'll make sure, because Dane's been much better at finding the names. Missing a number here, number 10 on the Tropics.
Easton Duft.
Thank you. I looked right past him. So I did that. Lob that ball inside. Beatty gets it. Fall away and got it.
Doesn't he look so much improved?
So it's amazing what a year does. I think we talked about this last week. Amazing how much a year changes.
Yep. And I don't say that to knock last year. It felt like last year Colin Chandler was so much of that offense and was always kind of looking for that number 2. Man, this year Paul Beatty, what we've seen from him in the top 50, it just feels like his growth, his maturity is going to, be huge for Farmington this year.
But you see what Farmington does. You don't have one of the top players in the country on your team. There's some of that. We'll let him do it. Who's going to show up and take that as Duft takes a loose ball. They got numbers. Extra pass, Duft across the key, and that'll put Sam Lind at the line for free throws, and he maybe turn an ankle.
And the thing is in fairness to Paul, I don't say that to, be negative at all. But young man was just a sophomore last year.
Yeah.
And so, now a junior, you get another year, development. He is looking really, really good.
And the free throw is good. Tropics still looking for the first bucket from the floor. As there's a nice take and finish. Able to clear space and maybe go a little Heisman move on his way to the hole. Tanner Davis. Atwater sending it out to the corner, but up top now Duft. Lind, fall away, lefty, yes. First field goal of the night. That ball popped up in the air.
That had jammed knuckle written all over it, didn't it? Sounded like it.
A little floater falls in. That's back-to-back buckets for Tanner Davis. Quick on the other end. Lind back-to-back. That's time for 3.
Talk about a young man that's growing up. How about Sam Lind, Jr., Wasatch Wasp? A couple nice shots there.
This end, and Skanky laying that one in. Hunter Skank. It doesn't matter how long we've known the family. I always get nervous every time
I do too. Yep.
We've covered all the boys, the family. Oh, they put time back on the clock. So 10:23. We're going to take the media timeout here. You are watching the 2022 Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com. .23 left in the first half. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you here from the Utah Top 50. Just a chance to remind you about Athletic Republic as they try to send that one inside. It's Chudy Onosike with the loose ball, and Chudy loses that one out of it. And we're going to talk recovery real quick. Preparing for the next workout begins the moment the last workout ends. Athletes have control over the recovery process at Athletic Republic.
How about the job of James Rust going against bigger guy down in the block, able to reach around, deflect that away, help generate the steal.
Clock hasn't started yet. As the three is good for Skank.
You know why? Because it feels like the Skank family has been timeless at Weber, doesn't it?
Ah, there it is. There's the steal and the bucket there
for
the
left-handed,
Chaparrals.
huh?
Yeah. Getting a little fancy. There's the clock. So we got about an extra minute and a half almost here.
Region 1 showing up.
Showing up and showing out. There's that one inside, and Felder. First bucket tonight.
No mercy on the rebound and put back.
Three on the way from Rust, off the buckle. And it was Jackson Johnson with the loose ball. Now on the other end, thought again some foul would be called there as Zach Robinson left that one high, but they're making him play through contact, which I appreciate. And on the other end is Hansen.
That young man showing his burst. Tell you what, been impressed with his drive to the rim. Time and time again tonight for Hunter, and they're defensively able to get a piece.
I just want him to stay healthy. You know, there's a kid that, as a going into his sophomore year, that Coach Mulaney said, "Hey, we got one of my better players here," and but he was injured. Maybe it was his freshman year. As Lynn gets that one to go, so it's good to see him healthy. Hope he gets a full year.
Yeah, and he's going to have an opportunity to really make a mark. You look at this Fremont program, they got some youth there, right? They're going to rely on some of his experience to help this group kind of come together, compete in Region 1. Obviously, he has a lot of expectations on him, having committed to Utah State.
And there's young man still looking for that, maybe the right fit. I don't know if that's the right verbiage. But the big three there from Q Mesa. Onosike and Chudy. Kisses that one off the window. That's fun. We talked about him being like a Mulibea kind of type. A Mulibea transferring here in the offseason from Dixie State or Utah Tech. As there's the shot there from Atwater. Skank again for three.
Been locked and loaded tonight.
Send up top, reversed out to Q Mesa on the extra pass, and back-to-back threes for Q.
The extra pass to Q is always the right decision. always the right decision.
Good things will happen. And a little heat check did not fall there for Hunter. On the other end, Q Mesa, no, tipped out by Russ, taken by Onosike.
Nice work there by Chudy. giving up ground but not conceding the points. Boy, fast drive.
Skank for 3, misses last 2. Here's the board, the run out now. Q Meza. Always fun watching Q.
Yeah, a young man that become known for doesn't need a lot of space, and showing even at the rim doesn't need a lot of room to get shots away.
The same colored shoe, Chudi Anasike. The strong finish. Jackson Johnson.
I think first
from the
points,
corner.
Yeah, first points tonight for the Alta Hawk.
And then there's the bucket once again for Skank. For the first half for Hunter.
Got to be near 10 points.
Easily,
he's at least
that's
got
11.
8. He might. Is it? Okay.
Yeah, he's got 3 threes now,
All
that
right.
one, if not more. As Felder has to finish through all that contact. It's just good for him. That's going to build character.
That's one of the young men's for Brock Felder. That's one of the aspects that I think Flint can really get to, right? Is I think they've got great size advantage in this game in the paint. Woo!
They got to call that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would have been a 10-caller pile up on the freeway if we didn't.
Would have had a congestion in the lane.
Yeah. See what you're doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
As Hansen knocks down the As he knocked down the 1 for 2. 9-point lead for the Chaps.
Chaps have been able to hold on to this. Got out to that 10-0 start. Been able to maintain the separation.
Felder put on the floor all the way to the rim.
The big man showing his ball control.
No one-star refuse on Felder. As that one's not been able to be saved in.
Love the hustle there by Logan Deal, trying to keep that in play, the Skyview Bobcat.
And as these guys know, as you see Meza come up the floor, shooter here is Meza all the way to the rim, kiss it high off the window. And his coach, a member of Raider Nation, Trey Smith, as he gets that one to fall in.
AKA dealing with depression in week 3.
We fly the flag proudly as on the drive and the foul. Actually, don't step down the line. Stepped out of bounds. But a certain someone probably can get his first win since 2010 in the NFL as head coach this weekend. There comes off the screen. Q Meza won't go. And the rebound taken by the Chaps. Onosike in transition, yes.
Yeah, I say just a 2 there for Chudi. Foot was on the line. Love the vision there by Tanner Davis. Again, the guard out of Skyview.
Outwater straight away. And Tropics going cold down the stretch here in the first half.
Yeah, quick looks.
Chudi on the drive, floated up, won't go. And the rebound to Felder.
Q able to do just enough. Boy, I like Chudi in that matchup. His speed, able to get to the paint, but Q doesn't allow too much penetration. Makes for a bit of a tough kind of one-handed shot there by Chudi.
Strong drive, and hasn't been able to get the last few to fall. Come back the other way. Oh, nice move inside. Reverse it a little strong. Deal with the board and the foul. We'll put him at the line. A foul under 2 minutes, but they're not stopping the clock. Going to roll right through here. So Logan Deal out of Skyview.
Talk about all the players out of Region 11. Deal, Davis, obviously Odom. There's some good players up there. It's going to be a fun year. 4A. Good hands there.
Pass goes out of bounds, looking for Tanner Davis. Now you mentioned that, and everyone's chasing Snow Canyon. And I know Doug Beecham thought, after winning his first state championship, well, got Simmons coming back, but then Simmons moves on up to RSL Academy, and that changes a lot when you lose probably the best player in the classification.
Well, I've heard rumblings of some other movement as well that might be impactful for a. Look, it's been a balanced classification the last couple of years. Been competitive, fun state tournaments. It might be that way again this year.
Lynn picks up the loose ball, tried to fit that one through, and Beatty came back to get the steal. Quickly ahead. Mitch Jepson tries cross court, taken away by Duft.
Dangerous pass there. Love Duft coming back, just a sophomore. Able to pluck that one away.
Yeah, he used that paw to take it away.
Just like Wildcats do, huh?
Yeah. Oh, and he lost his footing when he tried to, with the little flyby. Last moments of the first half. 5 seconds on the official clock. Chudy with 3. Chudy with 1. Oh, and it just crawled off there, and that'll do it for the first half. We go to the first half break. It is Chaps 41, Tropics 32. You're watching the Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com. Welcome back in. You got to hear our food conversation maybe at the end there.
Yes.
Dusty hit that, and so many people are used to now my little chuckle. But Dane, get ready for the second half. The Chaps got out to a quick start. Tropics made a push. Went a little cold offensively as they stuck to the perimeter. Maybe the ball got stuck too.
You don't want to think the people at the table do great work, and providing us with some halftime stats is nice three made there by Johnson, his second of the contest. But you want to know who tied for top rebounds is in this contest? How about Q Meza?
Really?
Yeah, is I think the leader for the Tropics, and the Chaps have a couple, both the same number with him, but a bit of a wrestling move there.
Yeah, and the rest would call that a high C.
A high C.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can use your imagination what C means, but that's a high C.
Oh boy,
Hansen. Nice extra pass there from Skank, Region 1 to Region 1.
And all set up there by the speediness of Hunter. It's like we've said those words before about Skank basketball players, right? But Hunter recognized, man, I got parting of the Red Sea here. Just goes right through and able to kick it to Hansen in the corner.
What used to be the head on the stick rivalry, none of the kids know that anymore.
That's the real tragedy right there.
It's super sad. No, Michael Clanton, that was like his favorite thing when we first started doing this. MC was like, head on a stick. Look, the Ballsteads know their basketball history, and they bring the water and pizza too. Like Martin Lawrence on Blue Streak.
They even brought one for Preston. That's when you know, right? Of course, they left the pizza with me.
They respect the position as Hansen on the other end. That's 5 points in the second half here for Hunter Hansen. Ooh, Felder maybe got away with a little dream shuffle there as Rust quickly with the lead out.
You talk about, boy, tough night for Flint. How about the drive? Man, Tanner Davis.
He's having a night.
Yes, he is.
And I think what's fun about this showcase is that it can give so much confidence heading into the regular season, because you'll have a few weeks off before the regular season starts, about a month. But you go play well here, it gives you just a lot of confidence heading into, I believe, into your regular season.
Yeah, and that's part of the point of this, right, is that basketball, you do so much in the summers, and then you've got this kind of 8-week dead period. You're in school, AAU isn't doing much, and part of this is to help give that momentum, keep kids in rhythm, so that when that season comes around, they're playing better. Obviously, there's exposure, there's other things there, continued player development, but man, to keep that rhythm, to keep just kind of in that mood prior to the season, one of the big reasons why this showcase exists, and I think it's done a great job of providing that for a lot of players here.
Little extended junction jumper will not fall for Robison. Lind on the drive, a little up and under, left it too sharply off the window. And now on the push, here come the Chaps. And Skank continues his terrific evening. Got it done everywhere.
We did not do a lot of Weber games last year, but this is one of the better three-point games I have seen from Hunter Skank. He's been dialed in tonight.
Certainly has. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him. You're watching the Utah Top 50. 16:30 left in the second half. Dusty Lister, Dane Stewart with you. And as Q Meza holds out top. And our unofficial clock will get resynced here momentarily. And Felder able to get that one to drop.
Been great commitment to defense tonight by the Chaps. Really making the Tropics work for it.
So that one goes out of bounds, and we'll stay here with the Chaparrals. And we got 8 guys on the floor. Is Atwater going to come on?
You know, for all those who mock officials who are always very precise with the table, right? No, you have to go to the middle. Now you can come on. That's the reason why right there.
Yeah. That's the thing. When officials always tell you, well, then you put on the stripes and a whistle and, take the live bullets, if you will. Then you can have a conversation.
Deal showing he can, that was Davis.
The funny thing is I've been invited multiple times. You don't want that. And I always get back, yeah, we do. The 3 goes off the mark.
You might. I don't. I turned it down.
I did tell him no. I said, no, I don't think you want me to do that. As that 3 won't go. Now, I have done it in the past in a different life. As Q Meza hits the 3.
You get Q in rhythm, that's the result.
I am so excited for his senior year. He and Daigle Mulford, they finished on such a high last year, had that great game against Corner Canyon, who made it all the way to the championship game in 6A. This is a year the Pirates have been building toward for generations. Meza misses on the second 3.
For those of you who follow, rewind our coverage of basketball, don't you worry. I'm not going to let Dusty all of a sudden sweep in and take all the Region 2 love. That is still Dane's domain. Dusty, you can live in Region 4.
Done.
I'm staying in Region 2. We'll call it good.
I think we'll start doing this segment. Region 4 of the field. Region 4. It'll make so many of our fans so happy. And actually what they'll say is, on brand. What they just don't know, it's very much a character that I play on the show. I really don't have a dog in the fight. But it makes it fun. Because I even have close family friends that get after me on Instagram messages.
Let me just introduce this. He says it's a character, but yet only one of us has been in the living room and downstairs of the Wilson family. So what's your answer to that, Mr. Character?
Hey, that goes way back to streaming. No, that goes way back to streaming of trying to unfold some of the behind the scenes of how we ended up in some of the streaming of schools that we got into. That's how I ended up in the basement of the Wilson household.
Houston Johnson there fouled on the shot attempt for the Mustangs.
I could tell you,
the Tropics, but he's a Mustang.
Yeah, for the Mustang. Could tell you that I've been getting videos of Isaac Wilson since he was 7 years old. Throwing the football is to the junction.
That doesn't help your plea as this being a character.
I have a lot of people saying that too, though. But you know me, I like to win. I really doesn't bother me. I don't have anyone who wins. I
have to give you flack. It
is fun, but it just happens where I've lived too. I've only lived in Region 4. Not be purposeful, but it's where I've lived. As Jackson Johnson misses on the 3.
You were in Region 8/9 for a bit. Yes,
yeah, it's true. Yeah, it is true. I guess I just always considered like PG where Vineyard was, but I would have gone to Mountain View. I did live in PG
Wasn't
for a while.
Wasn't that Provo?
I was in Vineyard, Orem side. As that shot drops. I would make a joke, but I won't because it doesn't help my cause. I wasn't joking to say we found out where our kids would gone to high school and then, no, we're getting out of there. We're going to Draper. The plan was always to go where we are, but yeah. As here's the drive, Atwater, fall away, got it. As I'm sure all of our coaches or watches are so excited to hear about where Dusty was going to live.
Yeah.
But 10-point game is Atwater. The Davis Dart gets that one to go.
He'll have an opportunity for Davis this year. A lot of change for Coach Sims. But the well never dry for the Dart basketball program.
And the old Region 1 special there. Even inside the arc.
Dusty can't wait for that.
Get us to restricted area as soon as possible. So 56-46. Johnson. I love that little stem and hit.
Doing that against height in Beatty. And look, we talk about Beatty, just a junior. Johnson as well. But I love kind of squaring him up, sizing him up, and drilling it.
Chudy heard that and says, well, I'll show you the range, Dusty. Takes on from the top of the key.
You know,
it was a 2.
Chudy tonight has had a couple drives. I don't know that he's made a lot of them, but I've loved the soft touch from Chudy from within about 6 feet. They're showing he's got, the ability to dial it in from long range as well. Really versatile.
And Lind, Lind was the one that got things started offensively for the Tropics. Gets the bucket there. Chudy on a CK. A little long on that 3.
That one felt a little rushed.
Johnson, extra pass to Lind. And the lefty has to back things out. Hand off to Crimson Cliffs Johnson. Extra pass to the corner. Lind on the drive. Beatty with him. Fall away lefty, no. And the rebound taken down by Owen Odom.
Man, the tough shooting night for the Tropics just continues.
And they're contested. That was a loose ball foul, yeah. You won't catch us saying over the back.
Correct.
No such foul in basketball.
We talk about tough night for the Tropics offensively, and yet they're still within 8, right? Still just hanging around here.
I think we missed our under 10 break here.
That'll be
shot
coming.
Won't go, and the rebound taken by Deal, now on the run. We're on the trot, I should say.
Oh, good
Hanson,
find.
nice find. Oh, how blocked away.
Jackson Johnson.
Could be fun watching him this year.
Showing the wingspan there.
Yeah,
Hawk?
I see it.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even put that one together. They brightened up their gym, and now maybe we'll be welcomed back in there more regularly. As Atwater has that one partially blocked. Here comes Beatty on the run. Inside of 9 minutes left in the game. The 3 won't drop. Rust with the rebound.
That's still so odd for me, right? That the transition 3. It's just, I'm still getting used to that, Dusty.
J.C. Carroll didn't get those when you were in college. And there's a timeout on the floor. And we'll be right back. You're watching Utah Top 50. After the under 10 stoppage, Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you. Game 2 of 3 here tonight of the Utah Top 50, Week 3. Oh, nice find inside, and Felder got lost where he was on the floor. And Skank knocks down another 3.
Money. Once again, Hunter just dialing it in from long range. On the block for Skank. How about the recovery?
I didn't see older brothers strolling in here tonight. But And he's putting on a show.
He's making him miss it.
Not going to be here. But problem I get, I'm a superstitious person.
Right.
I'm a superstitious man. As that one is poked away, now on the run. Skank in transition to the corner. I know he thought that felt good come off his hand, the way he was kind of holding it. Oh, nice extra pass.
Love it.
And maybe his best play, get that one inside in the 13-point lead.
I would say indubitably, right? He misses the three. They work the ball back out to him. The drive, he's got the opportunity, but instead finds Deal, who would just come back in. Love the unselfishness there by Skank.
Oh, nice wrap around.
Again.
Good deal. Lays it in.
I'll tell you, the Chaps tonight, this is probably their most complete game we've seen from them here in the first 3 weeks. They're looking strong.
Well, they played very connected.
Yes.
Felder off of the free throw line extended. Robinson, series of moves, put it up. No. Rebound taken by Rust.
And really, we haven't seen a lot of offense from Russ. There have been a couple other guys that have been big scorers that they haven't had to contribute tonight, as there's the floater from James.
And you heard that. James Russ, the floater, pushes up to 17. It's a 7-0 spurt after the under 10 media timeout.
Flinton was the only undefeated team coming into week 3, and that is in peril.
And Felder knocks down the long-range 2. See Coach Smith walk in. And a nice take and finish by Tanner Davis. 17-point lead. As Lynn sends up top to Q Meza. Mid-range jumper there for Quentin Meza.
There's the mid-range. We were talking about in a previous game. We didn't have a lot of mid-range, and Q showing a little there. A little pull from 15.
Dylan Morey would say, take him off the floor.
Yeah. He will not be a Houston Rocket.
Or he will not be part of the process in Philadelphia. As Hansen straight away. How about it? I think I know who our player of the game is going to be. Hunter Skank has been outstanding.
Yeah, I don't know what he had for dinner tonight, but you gotta write that one down.
Yeah, put that in your journal. Remember that for the fall or for the winter. Mom, I went to Bahama Bucks. It's winter, I know, but blue raspberry with the cream and ice cream. That's some free advertising for Bahama Bucks. If you've never been.
Never been.
Money. 123rd South.
Yeah, I know. I've driven past it. I've always been like, I don't know what that place is.
Saw them all over Louisiana. I didn't know what it was, and then we finally got one a couple years ago. I was like, yeah, that's a good stop for the Lidster household.
Speaking of, is it Mr. Charlie's Chicken Fingers?
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah. That'll put the pounds on.
Not Cane's, but it's still good. It is good. Ahead, Meza can't control it. And
how about the kick attempt there by Q?
Yeah, football action. Baseline, send up top. Beatty for 3. Got it. Man, the Chaps are on fire tonight.
And you want to know who had the loudest shout out? Hunter Skank. Like, yes, sir.
Everything going right for the white-clad Chaps. Johnson misses on the 3. Mitch Jepson would give it up to Rust. Inside of 4 minutes left here in our second game. Over nightcap coming up about 10 minutes after this one ends. As Chudy will send out. Odom.
Wow, what a take.
What the take and finish.
Against the longer, more experienced Samuel Lynn.
I believe it was a 10-point game at the 10 under.
You know,
and from there, I want to say it's 17-4.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be. The separation's right, but you know what this will do, which is fantastic? We got a great rest of the 3 weeks coming up, right? Because you got 5 games, and now you're going to have a bunch of teams sitting at 2-1 with 2 weeks to go, and there are no playoffs. It's a 1 seed versus a 2 seed, and so in the next 2 weeks, you are going to want to make certain you join because you're going to get fantastic basketball teams jockeying for playoff for that championship week positioning.
And we have a championship announcement that'll be coming out really soon as well. Is that 3 is good. And timeout on the floor, not just substitution timeout. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lizzie from the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's a perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style Checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
It's out of the timeout. There's 2:40 on a rolling clock here. Is Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart with you. And it's been the Hunter Skink show tonight, as he's been spectacular for the Chaps as Russ sent away by Lind.
How about back-to-back defensive plays by Lind?
And on the run out and bucket. There by Mr. Duft. As Chudianasike step back mid-range jumper. All right, now if it's going up, it's going in for the Chaps.
Yeah, Lind had a couple nice defensive plays on the last sequence, but not a lot of people are going to be able to stop that shot from Chudy.
Duft for 3, no. As we own it 2 minutes. So right now, our only stoppage should be on fouls. But we're coming to the end of Game 2. Game 3 coming up. That is the Caps versus the Amigos. Johnson pumped the 3, goal base. Tries to wrap that around, but it's taken away. Chudianasike past Lind, left-hander, no. The follow by Odom would drop. Now on the run on the other end. Johnson leaves it for Robinson. Robinson can't find the 3, and that's off the foot of Johnson. Back down the floor we go with the Chaps.
That kind of a night for the Tropics. We talked about the closeout the next 2 weeks. We'll let you know also about the next up and risers, class of 24, 25, and others. Really kind of the next players we expect to see here in the top 50. That will be that week of the 17th. We'll have action for you here on KSLSports.com as this top 50 and this showcase of this elite league continues to grow. And that next iteration of this league, and should be fun.
So, and the boys are going to be excited about the announcement that we'll have out pretty soon about championship
You're
week.
going to want to be following social media for the next couple days, folks.
Yeah.
There's something pretty awesome coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be – I would be jacked.
I would be too.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and once we get that announced, what we'll have on championship night will be great. And what you'll know is you'll have it right here on KSLSports.com. The KSL Sports Rewind is our unofficial clock's ahead of the official clock by about 4 seconds. And that'll do it for the second game of our triple header tonight in Week 3. And there is not an undefeated team left in Utah Top 50 as the Dallas Chaparrals knocks off the Flint Tropics, 81-59. Dane, your final thoughts and selection of a player of the game?
Yeah, I mean, the Tropics hung around as long as they could. It was 58-50. It was 58-50. It was an 8-point difference. We called it out. And since that point, what, a 20 or 31-9 run. My goodness. What a night. The Chaps, I thought, best basketball we've seen from them this entire showcase. To your point, Hunter Skank, player of the game. He was dialed in. Defensively made plays. His long ball was the difference. He's our player of the game.
We'll take a few-minute break. We're back for Game 3. Again, our final score, the Dallas Chaparrals 81, the Flint Tropics 61. Player of the game, the Hunter Skank. For Vince France, Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us. Game 3 coming up. You're watching Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com. Brought to you by Mountain America and the Athletic Republic. Now welcome in the Lifetime Activity Center. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart with you. Game 3, the nightcap of Week 3. The Anaheim Amigos and the Washington Caps. There is not an undefeated team left in the Utah Top 50. Remember, championship night is just, there's no playoff. It's number 1 seed versus number 2 seed. As the first bucket.
How about Reiser rising up, just floated. Kind of held it. The ball dropping in.
Mom taught him that. No kickball on that little We Are Wrexham moment. Oh, nice extra pass, and the layup is there.
Jagger.
And it's a 4-0 start here for the Amigos. And the loose balls right now being tracked down by the Amigos. That's kind of the telltale sign we've seen in these games tonight is the team that is going to go after the extra balls. The guys are kind of fired up. They'll chase those things down. Have showed well in the first 2 games.
A spin move there by the Caps.
It was Reese Dent. I wonder if he had anything to say to his coach about his refereeing the debut tonight. And as that shot drops for Jackson Smith, one of our favorites out of Woods Cross High School. Little junction extended jumper would not fall for Gillespie, who had a great week 2.
He had a good week 1, too. Didn't see a lot of mid-range from him, though. That was a bit of a different look.
And the jumper there once again for Smith. And it's a 9-2 start here for the Amigos. And good to see we had a future or a recent D1 commit. That was Mr. Garrett. Couldn't get that one. Or probably that was Reese Dent. But good to see Isaac Garrett out here tonight.
Where'd he commit to?
I'll have to look it up. I said that. I was hoping you saw it as well. I'll have to look it up.
I was like, oh, I did not see that.
I thought we talked about it last week because that ball was slapped away. Nothing else he got offered. And it could have even been in the Ivy League school, but Princeton or Penn. And there was a nice defensive play by Garrett on the run with Smith send it to the corner. Reiser. Baseline. Dangerous pass, but Hinckley able to track that one down.
Lehigh. Not Lehigh High School, like Lehigh
Valley. Yeah. Straight away. Jagger can't get the 3 to go. That's what I knew it was in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It was Lehigh.
All right.
So Lehighton is actually kind of beautiful. Even Bethlehem. America's Christmas town as that one goes. For Kyle Carley, young man out of Mountain Ridge. Well, Bethlehem Steel.
Ooh.
It's a nice play, I thought. There
Chamberlain Burgess.
Good to see Chamberlain out here. We saw Ike Staley earlier. Chamberlain
Yeah.
Burgess, name we keep bringing up.
And I don't recall seeing Chamberlain week 1 or 2. I might have missed him.
Week 1, I was not here.
Correct.
He was not here last week.
Yeah. Just a sophomore for Coach Ross, Lone Peak.
The nephew of Coach Burgess, formerly at BYU and now the University of Utah. Is that 3 will drop here in the corner. Carson Smith. And now his dad is in the building, head coach of the Utes.
Which I think would probably be an indication that maybe the aforementioned Charlie Smith not related. We have not been able to confirm or unconfirm that. We've kind of been speculating. So
No, we haven't found out.
yeah. Well, my guess would be it's a different Smith.
Probably not. Yeah, there's Garrett for 3. Got it.
Which is crazy because that's not a very common last name, right? I mean, who would have thought there'd be
In
multiple Smiths
Utah,
Dallas?
no less.
Yeah.
As the Amigos come back on the other end. Got the clock inside here. The scoreboard inside the arena says 11-10, so we'll match it. And we'll have the kickball as our whistles of. They've been as quiet as the referees at the BYU-Wyoming football game over the weekend.
Oh, here we go.
You know me. I've actually come a long way banging on officials. That was brutal.
Like, I don't so much bang as just
Lightly tap.
strongly dislike.
I just lightly tap. Because I recognize how difficult it is now. You know, you're something, get all mad, but now spend some time talking to officials, you get a better understanding of it.
Like, I used to get mad. Now I just get left speechless. But that's a vast improvement.
But the initial anger goes away as that shot will not drop. I actually go through the motions with it, too. I'm like, okay, what I think he saw, and walk me through it. And he stepped out of bounds. Yeah, Reese Dent did step on the line. But when officials don't blow whistles and still call fouls or give out penalties, whatever sport it is, and they say after the play, you lose me.
There's the speechless moment. I mean, there were a couple of,
Non-smooth
eyebrow
snap.
moves and
That was a week before. But either way. But Ricer giving this one up to Jagger. It was Jax Allen now back in the corner. Work it back up top to Ace. Ace can't get that one to drop, and now on the run with Johnson. Nathan Johnson, that shot is short. Rebound pulled in by KJ Miller. And there's a steal, Ace Ricer. Johnson giving chase. Ricer takes the bump and the bucket.
really. What a take with contact. Ace.
Get any more of that gum?
None of your business.
And that ball goes out of bounds.
Love what we've seen from
here.
Luke Sorensen tonight. Number 79. He's a new addition to the Caps. Senior this year at Ridgeline. So he was able to get that deflection. Of course, he's going up against a teammate right now in Jagger. So a little fun matchup there.
Barrow has that one slapped away. Big man, you put the ball on the floor around guards, you allow them to get to the ball. That's a big man, old school big man 101.
I don't know if I really like Matani Hinckley.
Uh-huh.
I just
Yeah, we talked about him last
he's
week.
such a blue-collared kid. And even there, like, to the floor, first on the ball, gonna get scrappy, get that possession as he misses that shot. But,
I know he goes to Brighton, but you know who he reminds me of?
huh.
An old school Highland High School. Where Highland always beat Timpview in the state tournament.
Panos?
Well, Panos, but even like more recently, they had the runs where they just kept running into Highland and losing. Running into Highland. You always had that one guy that just did everything for
Oh, so
them.
not a particular
Yeah,
guy,
not a particular
just a role.
guy. Yeah, just a
I
guy
gotcha.
like that.
Yeah.
You're like, he definitely plays rugby or football. He's not a basketball player, but man, he's good. And he makes a difference. Johnson on the drive, and that is a basketball season searching for a foul move as Ricer in transition left it short. Ball still being tipped around and saved in.
There was a whistle.
I think that was a joking yell because there's laughing. Because everyone's been pretty much coached. Like, hey, we're not yelling at officials. Not what this is about.
We might have a fan ejection if they get any crazier. My goodness.
The email will go out.
Oh, Jagger, look at that.
Beautiful drop step and
Confident.
finish.
One dribble, going up.
Jagger Frankham going to be at Ridge Line. We talked about that stacked Regional 11 in our last game where it seemed like all the Regional 11 guys are there. But Jagger is, that's 3 would not fall. Hinckley with the board and the run out. Send it to the corner. Pump the 3. Going to drive and hit. Beautiful take and finish by Jax Allen.
Another aviator. We saw Cedar Valley represented earlier tonight. A couple good contributors at the hangar this year.
Nice.
Right? We need the airfield for football and the hangar for basketball, and there's really no excuse.
I tend to agree with you. Is Jagger inside on the extra pass?
He's easy points, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you tell me in 4A with Lyman Simmons out of that, who's going to defend him?
Yeah, especially with Simmons gone as Barrow goes on the other end and +1 with the hoop and the harm and a timeout. We're under 10 minutes as it is the Amigos leading 22-17. You're watching Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com. At any age, any level, basketball is a physically demanding sport. By focusing on acceleration, agility, and power, Athletic Republic can give players in every position the tools to be more successful on game day. I want to thank Athletic Republic for being a sponsor and supporter of the Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com. So under a 10-minute media timeout here in the first half. And it's been a balanced attack here in the first half by the Amigos. Is taking that and making it is Isaac Garrett.
Excited to see Isaac this year, senior. Of course, PG made that deep run, and he was one of their top scorers. And for me, really felt like he burst on the scene this year. Knew he was going to be a good player, but man, his junior year was phenomenal. I can't wait to see what he does in this upcoming senior season.
Yeah, Coach McAllister always has that guy.
Yeah.
Or multiples. But you always have that one guy you think, is he going to be good? And then they just keep showing up and showing out. That's Isaac Garrett.
Yep.
Looks a little more sudden here going into his senior year. Sends that out. Latongi Hinckley short on the 3. Reese Dent with the rebound. And still waiting for Giorgio Golesis to get going offensively. He showed up so well last week. That one taken away on the lob. Here comes Garrett. Garrett in the lane, little jump stop. Let's see if they got a foul. Yes.
Yeah, Carson Smith going to be whistled here for the contact. I thought Garrett might have gotten away with a bit of a kind of mid-jump in between dribbles there, but again, we're not here to over-officiate things. It's about
at all. It's not what we enjoy.
Right.
Oh, he got the 1 for 2. And now stepped out of bounds.
Yeah,
Reese
ran out of
Dent once
space.
again. Now floor awareness.
Oh.
That was a nice move. Thought he might pull the trigger. And Nash Schroeder, as that one drops for Ace Reiser. Giorgio Gillespie's extra pass. Chamberlain gets it back. Has it poked away from behind by Garrett. Better get used to that. PG and Lone Peak. Gillespie's. So Chamberlain Burgess, little jump. The hook would not fall. Rebound in the hands of Reiser. Ace. Send it quickly ahead. Jax Allen, and it climbs out. Tipped up and in by Jagger Frankham. Sorry.
Not to do Coach Day's job, but just let Jagger touch it, just 20, 25 times a game. It'll work out.
Send to the corner, Ace Reiser. 4-3.
This is Chicken Little. The sky is falling. Ace Reiser with a pair of threes here in this first half.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back. You're watching Utah Top 50.
Hi, I'm Lizzie from the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's a perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style Checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
Inside of 6.5 left in the first half. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart. That is the first buzzer that has gone off tonight.
Everyone kind of stalled. I did. Oh.
Well, kind of shoulders all kind of came up. We better add 4 points. As that one is up and in, and we got it. 34-21.
Carly nearly did the splits as he was throwing that ball ahead. Still able to get it on target and a nice finish.
Reiser tried to kiss that high out the window. Couldn't get it. Here comes Reese Dent. Dent get up to Giorgio. Gillespie's sends out for the extra pass and the three. Trying to tee that up with the call. Wouldn't fall. Send out. Jagger a little strong on the triple. Garrett with the board. Extra opportunity won't go. And Frankham can do lots of things. He can't track that one down. And we'll go the other way.
Cats feel like they have a little extra burst here, Dusty.
Yeah. Dent left that one short. Rebound to Chamberlain. Step out for three and got it.
Carson Smith. Love seeing him being able to step out, hit that shot. Young man's got good length and has relied on that, but man, if you can get that outside shot going, becomes a really versatile player offensively.
Garrett, beautiful find of Frankham. How about Isaac Garrett?
How about the vision from the lanky guy? And Jagger just kind of getting lost amongst the defense. Garrett able to find him.
I'm going to have to text him, message Coach Tuck and be like, hey, Garrett, good vision, bad vision, see what he says. And it's just a test. Because he has good vision.
Are you saying he does not need to go to America's Best, Dusty?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Another free plug. Feel free to hit us up if you want to be a sponsor on Utah Top 50. He was going for the pass to Frankham.
Frankham thought that was a shot all the way.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I thought it was too.
But you remember, Garrett can't yell, pass, when he's doing that. That doesn't work. So Giorgio sends in. Smith kicks out for Carly. A nice extra pass in the bucket there for Chamberlain Burgess.
When that skip pass really opens up that interior, gets that defense to flow. A nice look inside and easy points. How about the Caps? This is a 17-point game, down to 10 here. Good close in the back half of this first half.
Strong take again. Thought I'd be able to get the call, and we're not going to get one there. Jackson Smith.
It's defended
Barrow.
well by Miller.
Sends out to Johnson. Short on the 3. Johnson, good defense. Able to get his hands on it. Looking for KJ Miller maybe in the corner. No, Johnson drives and draws the foul on.
See, and when you talk about some of that peskiness of Highland historically, to me that's Nathan Johnson. He is a Highland Ram, right? But he seems to be one of those guys who is just like, he's always in the spot that the opposing team doesn't want him to be in, right? He's just that kind of a disruptor where he finds extra possessions like that. He'll get physical, get gritty, hitting the free throw there. But, man, he just feels like he's one of those guys that gives opposing coaches, opposing teams a lot of fret.
Hey, it's the first thing we've seen in the first 3 games is a little four-court pressure from the Caps, trying to pick things up with the energy. No, and I agree with you. It's kind of that prototypical guy. And there's a miss on the shot. Back down the floor with the Cap. 3, no. Loose ball taken by Barrow. Sends to Johnson straight away. No on the 3. And opportunity goes by the wayside there for the Caps.
How about the handles there of Jaggers? Diallo was back putting pressure. And Jagger will just hold that.
And nice hands by Johnson. Send to the corner. Johnson stuck in the paint, looking. Sends back up top. And then drawing the foul. We have not seen that a lot this evening. But Griffin Doughty fouled on the drive. KJ Miller. Sends out Doughty. Nice drive in there, going to say out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Amigos.
Yeah, I thought it went off of Sorensen's foot. Defense obviously there, making the drive difficult.
Welcome Sorensen to the top 50. Is added today. Nice drive by Garrett. He's fouled. And they're going to line up for the free throws, or free throw. Clock's supposed to stop. It's not, so we'll let it run.
I'm actually not certain the official rule on that. It's not on the rules page.
Oh,
We've seen it be inconsistent at times where they have and haven't. We need to get some clarity on that. We'll work on that.
Free throw was good. 38-28. Barrow. No. And a loose ball in the hands of Hinckley. Amigos could really put the hurt on. Jackson Smith misses on the 3. KJ Miller with the board and the run out. Sent ahead to Barrow, knocked out of bounds, and then we'll go back to the Amigos.
Oh, wow. I thought that might have been out on Ace. Do you have a timeout here? They aren't taking it.
Isaac Garrett with 3 seconds. Sent to the corner. 3 on the way. No. And that'll do it for the first half. We go to the break. It's the Anaheim Amigos 38, the Caps 28. You're watching the 2022 Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com. Start of the second half, Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart with you. Game 3 of Week 3, our final one of the night. The Anaheim Amigos and the Washington Caps. Again, working all the way to championship week. There'll be a special announcement coming out pretty soon about championship night and where that will be. Well, what we'll be doing that night, anyway. I should put it that way.
Yeah, and look, I mean, as if Dusty and Dane on the call is not good enough, there's a little something extra coming. So buckle up.
Yeah, it feels like a state tournament. It's going to feel a little different that night as Barrow able to come away with that offensive board. And the Caps showed a lot of energy toward the end of the first half. They needed buckets. They were missing some point-blank shots toward the end of the first half, able to get it there.
And, you know, you talk about the start by the Amigos. They've cooled off a little bit. And obviously Jagger got going early. We saw a couple nice takes by Garrett as that one, I think, partially deflected. And it just feels like it's kind of out of sorts right now, and the Caps taking advantage.
And then as Barrow getting right to the rim and able to lay it up and in. Soleimani, Barrow, and then there's Jagger Frankham.
20 touches. That's all we need, just 20 touches.
That's all. Of course, his mom, if you didn't know, was a Sentinel Patriot.
Centennial
Patriot.
Come on, man.
I just messed it up. We did the Colonels earlier.
Like me saying a Carbondino. Come on,
I know,
man.
but mine wasn't on purpose, so it was just a flippant mistake.
Of course, Papa's a CEU
Yeah,
Eagle,
CEU
so,
Golden
you know,
Eagle.
Yeah.
None of this whatever nonsense they call it now, but there's Ace Reiser.
It's the Utah State University Eastern,
That's
Dusty.
exactly what it is. There's Frankham. Can't get that one to go. And a 5-point game. 40-35. And
Good positioning.
Good start. Well, couldn't get that one to continue. Loose ball taken by Reiser. Ace sends out to Smith. Fake the three, drive the base, send out to Reiser. A little step back to the three, blocked by
Good
Barrow.
close out.
Frankham, a little extra touch in the slam there.
It was Garrett with a beautiful feed to Jagger in the first half. How about Jagger with a nice handoff? Young man could be a quarterback.
That was very well done. The sleight of hand.
That's like almost Box Elder quarterback-esque for those of us who didn't watch our top 5 plays this week, eh?
Please watch the top 5 plays.
Yeah.
We need the support. Time out on the floor. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lizzie from the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's the perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style Checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
Inside of 18 minutes left as Preston will get our clock resynced as Noah doesn't fall.
That one might have been partially deflected. And you mentioned it earlier, Dusty. Gillespie, it's just been a challenge for him to find his rhythm tonight. We've seen him get hot, but tonight he just has not been able to find that consistency yet.
Well, last week it was the second half that really got him going. And
You know, I think that one of the differences in prior games, he's really been attacking the rim. And tonight he's settled for some mid-range, 12, 15-footers. We really haven't seen him go hard to the rim yet. See if that changes here.
Garrett able to get that ball out. Frankham short on the triple. Reiser there for the board and the putback.
I'll tell you, Garrett and Jagger, they're developing some chemistry here.
Try to find Dent inside on the pick and roll, and Dent couldn't handle that cleanly. Take it away by Hinckley. And Hinckley fouled on the drive, and I thought he'd be charged to Carson Smith.
Talk about Jagger earlier and rolling off some of those high screens. Does the same thing there and really puts the defense in a bit of a tough spot because all of a sudden you got guys going down both lanes. Defense caught behind. Hinckley on the attack, able to draw the contact and head to the line.
And Hinckley able to get the 1-for-2 free throw. So able to get within 5, but the Caps unable to push it from there, and that goes off the foot of Smith. They go back down the floor with the Amigos.
Right now, the Caps asking Ace, what do they know about pressure, and Ace dealing with it here. Young man, not the first time he's seen full court, and doing a nice job.
Extra pass. Here comes Garrett, cut off by Chamberlain, but got him off his feet. Dent with the block. Frankham there for the pickup and the bucket.
Good work there by Dent defensively.
And come back on the other end and forcing the issue was Kyle Carley.
How about the guard situation for the Amigos? You have Ace Reiser, and now you have Jackson Smith.
Yeah.
You could argue they're top guards in their respective classification.
Well, what the directors of the top 50 didn't realize is they were creating the super team for Dane. It's the Dane Stewart super team.
Yes.
Reiser and Jackson Smith. Here comes Smith on the other end and laying it in. It'll be like back in the day putting C.J. Wilcox and, or probably, we'll go Tyler Haws and Tanner Lamb on the same team. Dusty, would admit it?
Yeah.
We're in.
Yeah.
Frankham backs his way in and over the top of Dent. Like a Patriot should. Nice extra pass. Here's Giorgio. Gillespie's short. Rebound to Burgess. Sent back out for 3. Or probably that was Burgess.
I think Garrett might have deflected that. In fact, he's kind of shaking his hand coming down the floor here.
Jackson Smith. Stop, pop, no. Frankham keeping it alive. Able to come away with the board. Let's go. Gillespie's taking it away.
See if Ulysses attacks here.
Kind of got caught a little lax there. A little jumper from Burgess won't fall. The rebound taken by Garrett. Frankham with the flyby and the lay-in.
Jagger with another dagger, Dusty. His points in the paint tonight, it's up there.
I think he's at 15 touches. Got 5 more to go to hit his quota, as that one won't drop. There's a lid on the hoop for the Caps here. After closing this down to a 5-point game.
Yeah.
It is a 14-0 run for the Amigos. They are all for one and one for all.
I was going to say, they are becoming infamous here in the top 50.
Hey, as long as I don't break out into My Little Buttercup. Someone just needs to change their name to Ned, just for the top 50. I am that fast.
Little Nettie goes to war.
3 from Reiser, no. And the rebound to Frankham. It's back out to Ace, float it in the lane, no. And the rebound pulled down emphatically. And by Sorensen. Johnson, step back, 2. And this is a group that kind of picked it up defensively there at the end of the first half to try to close this thing down. The Amigos have been ahead from Jump Street.
Yeah.
Dowdy, oh, nice extra pass. Sorensen, and give him. There is continuation in this thing.
Yeah, not just shot clock, Dusty, not just running clock, but continuation in the top 50.
Soft whistle and all. We're going to take it. I'm here for that action.
We need a little more emphatic count action, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want a future as an official, we need.
It'd be like going to a baseball game and not having the umpire going, ha! On strikes.
You know what we need? We need a Leslie Nielsen basketball official, huh?
You say we don't have one? Not tonight. 3 won't drop, but the rebound to KJ Miller. Oh, Ricer. It probably wasn't Ricer.
Jax Allen.
Jax Allen just waited for it, and then Garrett with the dunk.
And the timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him. We'll be right back. You're watching the Utah Top 50.
So out of the timeout, can the Caps find an answer? They throw that one away. Now we do need to make sure we mention that you're trying to build chemistry out of thin air. But some teams, just week to week, it can change. And tonight we're seeing the Amigos that play very, very well together as Jackson Smith gives the finish that made Dane Stewart such a fan. And the steal from Ace Ricer. No mercy from the Amigos.
You know, it's really the whole package when you talk about Jackson Smith. Obviously his defense, his driving ability, and then the outside shot. Loves the way that he commands the floor. But yeah, I mean, you talk about that backcourt with he and Riser. Hard to deal with.
Inkley with the board and the run out. Oh, nice find inside, and Allen can't get it to go. Blocked away by Barrow. Garrett hangs and then hits.
You know, and you talk about a guy like Jax Allen. He had the steal right before the timeout. Obviously that play there, but man, he had a real fantastic week too in this showcase and making, again, kind of quiet plays here for the Amigos.
Bunch of ball movement. KJ Miller for 3 won't go. And that one goes off of the Caps. Will go down the floor with the Amigos.
Sorensen tried to convince the officials, but they weren't voting that way.
They weren't budging.
No.
There will not be a swing vote.
No hanging chads, nothing.
I don't care what party you're whipped for. Not working. Garrett left that one short. Barrow could not get the rebound cleanly. And, man, you talk about the differences just week to week. It's that one right there. Nash Schroeder came away with that, what was a surefire board. Allen on the drive and the bucket.
Telling you, that kid, his box score just fills up deceptively fast.
Cedar Valley's got some players. Don't ask me to remember what the basketball region's like, because all I think is the football region. But it does change.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah. Timpanogos does go out of it. Because for football, they needed to be in it.
Correct.
As Garrett's J won't fall. So, yeah, you have Cottonwood comes in, Timpanogos goes out. No?
I think that's right.
Yeah. Timpanogos then goes to Region 8.
Yep.
Yeah. But how about the Amigos just can't keep the pressure on? What do the Amigos do well? They put pressure. As that one goes out of bounds, it will go back to the Amigos. There's a little bit of pressure here, and who's going to be the Cooper Rush of this game for the Caps? Monday Night Football just ended.
Yeah, there's I don't know, Dusty. Trying to figure out where to go with that. I don't have a lot.
That was just fun. Hinkley loses that one out of bounds.
Things are getting a little testy in the game with few touchdowns.
If you got that much energy afterward, it means you didn't put much energy in it. About right for the NFC least.
Yeah, we're talking about the NFL.
Oh, nice shot by Reiser.
Once again.
He willed that one in.
Dusty, you know what they say about the NFC East, don't you? It just matters more.
It's the Big Ten of the NFL. The jumper short. Oh, nice little hezzy there from Giorgio. Best play of the night. Yeah.
And I think the first time he's attacked the rim. We talked about that earlier, right? Seen a lot of mid-range from him tonight. That time attacking the rim, gets the and one.
I'd say it's always fun to come back to the Lifetime Activity Center, mainly because you think of that 2020, well, I guess the 2021 state championships were here. As Rice are able to get out and go, and so many fun games.
How about the teal floor?
Yeah, all the changes.
Yeah, new look. Of course, we're here at the lake. We got new signage behind the backboard.
Good catch. I didn't even pick up on that.
Really? Yeah, I saw that week one. I was like, I actually like that. Nice little touch there. Reminder of the elevation.
Is the extra occupant no longer here?
I don't believe they are.
Okay.
That's what inspired a lot of the changes. Although there is a large sign here that indicates they are, but I thought I heard they would not. So, of course, that whole team might have been promoted this offseason. So,
wrong documentary. .451 and a rolling clock here.
Most lopsided game of the night here, the last one.
Yeah. It's tough, and we'll try to stay on task, but it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. This is where we tend to introduce movie references. We usually don't do that. But
or give show suggestions. I mean, if you haven't watched We Are Wrexham, I'll recommend it.
I have not tuned in yet.
It is
worth
good.
It?
Yeah.
All right.
You know me. I tend, if I find it good, I've watched all 9 episodes that are available. They're 30 minutes, so they're easy to digest and click on. Yeah.
So, it's only 4 hours. It's not a big deal.
Who doesn't have a free 4 hours? 3 on the way, and good.
Kyle Carley.
A Mountain Ridge Sentinel. That's really what messed me up earlier, because I was trying to find Carley, and I said Sentinel Patriots.
Yeah.
That's what it was. As Hinkley, little junction jumper won't drop, and the board in the hands of Carson Smith. Oh, the Bountiful Product had that one a little too sharply. And a backcourt. Right? So you don't have normal or regular officials.
Well, I was looking at one official, and like a coach was kind of petitioning, and I didn't see any indication.
Well, you told me that's backcourt, right? And he was smiled. There wasn't a whistle. Carson Smith, nice find to Ace Reiser, reverses and scores.
Hinkley comes up. Everyone flows with Matani, and Reiser right on the baseline. Good find. Nice finish.
You can't be careless with the basketball. There's a 3 in the corner, and Carson Smith for 3.
Nice little inside-out work there. Getting the post, kick to the corner. Smith able to hit it.
A little substitution timeout. Gets guys off the floor. So sometimes there's just those nights you run into just not feeling it. as a team. Kind of the spot for the Caps. They can finish it out, though. Again, this is a showcase about the players. You do want to win as a team. Probably why they have the team is to promote, get into a championship game, working together.
Of course, the Caps will have the early game next week. See if that maybe helps them find a little more in the legs. And the Amigos going to be playing late again. So used to the late meal. And
there's some teams that just play better at 8:15. They've won 13 straight. Week 4, go Caps versus the Tropics in game 1. Game 2, the Americans versus the Chaps. In game 3, the Colonels and the Amigos.
Of course, I know exactly what team Dusty's talking about because only one of his teams is winning right now. So,
that's right. As long as it's 8:15 or later, put that one in. Barrow with the block. Won 13 straight night games or something like that. As that floater wouldn't drop.
Which is ironic because contrary to the town that never sleeps, it's the town that goes to bed early, and yet somehow at 8:30 they can play football. So crazy, huh?
You know, it's the great crossover of football. Is this? They finish the games in the next day.
Feel like
it's okay.
Feel like Kramer, where I'm at the nexus of the universe here with
first
what's happening down there.
The 3 is good for Sorensen. Mentioned young man was called up today.
Nice.
Brought in off the waiver wire. Throw it in to Frankham. And Jagger shows the lefty, and it just wouldn't fall. Johnson. True rain, but not in the net. Goes back, the 3 on the way from Allen. Won't drop. Dowdy with the board. Inside of a minute to go. There's Barrow. Wanted to go to work, but nice job of just not giving any ground there, the pressure he was looking for. Dowdy, he did not hit a 3 tonight.
Yeah. Tough night for him.
I think he hit 5 last week.
Yep. We've talked about that last week. When he's dialed in, he is as good of a shooter as there is. But tonight, he just has never – I think that was his first shot.
I think so.
Has not had a rhythm tonight. There have been a couple of Caps you can talk about that. They just haven't got enough looks to get in a feel of this game, and it's probably one of the reasons why the score differential is what it is.
Johnson tried to send ahead to Barrow, taken away by Smith.
He's like a cat just roaming that
defensive
area.
Like a free safety.
Like a wild cat, almost.
Nice. And there we go. Final punt of the night. And Dane, your final thoughts and selection of the player of the game.
Well, I mean, I think, look, the Caps made a nice charge to pull it within 5, but really the Amigos sent notice early. We talked about young man in Jagger Frankham, who really I didn't know that the Caps would have an answer for tonight. They didn't. He had a big night. Love what we saw from the guard line. Reiser shot the ball well, passed the ball well, distributed it, as did Jackson Smith. And good contributors from guys like Allen and Garrett. Balanced effort, but I'll go with Jagger Frankham tonight as the difference for the Amigos as they get the win.
It was a 50-45 game at a break, and it's a finish with a 26-5 run to close this one out for the Amigos. Player of the game, Jagger Frankham. For Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us. Come back for Week 4 on the Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com. Get on up.